Welcome to Pets Anonymous. My name is SJ. This is Whiskers. Hi, I'm SJ and I'm addicted to cats. This is just one of them. So if you're here tonight, you must be addicted to cats too, or at least your pet. I just happen to have cats. I've got cats on my clothes. I got pictures of cats all over the house. This one's no longer with us, but she's still with us. And this little bugger, she's only 10 months old. And there's a picture of one I don't have here, but it's coming. I've ordered it. Trust me. This is a big fluffy guy. He's in the basement because he gets in trouble when he's upstairs. And I have to say, I got addicted to cats and it's my grandfather's fault. Don't you just love that, our grandparents? I was 5 years old. I get this little kitten and all of a sudden I'm hooked. You know, one look at the little face with the whiskers and you're done. And when you're 5 years old, how can you not fall in love with that, right? So then it comes down to naming your pet. And that's the fun part, isn't it? And some of the names just don't make sense. Now, I named my kitten. I named him George. That's not a cat name, but I named the cat George. And then, oh, there's the missing cat right there. I told you I'm addicted. Hey, Miss Shadow, come here and say hello. She says, hello. This is Miss Shadow. Here's the other one. So we have 4. So, yeah, I guess I'm kind of addicted. She's so sweet. Anyway, she's called Shadow for a reason. She has a normal pet name because she used to follow me around when she was an outside cat, and we just scooped her up, brought her in, and now she's part of our family. And she was pregnant. She had 2 babies. And Whiskers wasn't named Whiskers when we got her. Got her from the rescue. You ever go to a rescue and you're going to adopt a pet and they've got a name and you look at the animal and you go, well, I don't think so. No, her name was Skippity Paps. Now, what kind of a name is that for any animal? Cat, dog, or otherwise? I mean, we had pets named Oliver, Raja, George, Boots. You know why we had one named Boots? Because it was a tuxedo cat, and President Clinton had a cat named Socks, and when we adopted Boots, his real name was Socks, and I changed it. I said, I'm not having a political cat in my house, so his name was Boots. It fit him. And they always tell you to name your pet a name that fits them. Well, I've seen some crazy names for animals online. There was this cute cat, and they named it Nelson. Who names a cat Nelson? That's right, Miss Shadow. Who names a cat Nelson? I agree. She's a talker. So, when you get a pet, don't give them some goofy name like Skippity Paps. We brought that cat home and I started calling her Skippity Paps and she just went the other way. She didn't know that name. So then I thought to myself, she looks like a Miss Whiskers. And so I said, hey, Miss Whiskers. And then she turned around and said, what do you want? So you can't tell me that pets don't know they have a name already when you adopt them. Well, you don't adopt the pets, right? They adopt you. I've come to that conclusion. Is that, yeah, I may be addicted to cats. There's some people that are addicted to dogs. Yep. And I know someone who I think is addicted to dogs because she had 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 big dogs, Rottweilers. Sweetest dogs ever, but I can't remember any of their names except one I think was named Duchess. And I asked her one day, I said, why do you have 4 big dogs? She's just saying, it's just her and her daughter living in the house and 4 big dogs. And she goes, oh, I just love them. Yeah, she's an addict. Yep. She's a Rottweiler addict. And then you have people who have other kinds of pets. Now, dogs and cats, they're normal pets. Then you got people who've got ferrets. And as far as I'm concerned, a ferret's nothing more than a big hairy rat. Because that's what it looks like. Not to mention, they bite. And then you got people who have mice for pets. And hamsters and gerbils. All the rodent family. Why would you want a rodent in your house? Aren't those the things you poison to get them out to not be in your house? You don't put them in a cage and call them Jingles. You know, give them a cute little name and you go like, oh look, I got a little pet mouse. No, I would never have a pet mouse. When I had a sister who had a pet hamster. And I hated that thing for one reason. It got out. It got out once, and it was right before I was getting ready to get married the first time. And I had my wedding apparel hanging in the hall closet, and when the hamster got out, it got into that closet, and it shredded my veil. And when I found that little critter, it was all I could do to keep from, this was on the second floor of the house. House had 3 floors, and so on the second floor. And there's a window in the hallway right by that closet where it had got into. I picked that thing up off the floor. I looked at that window and I thought, should I? Or shouldn't I? You want to learn how to fly, hamster? Well, then I thought about my mom yelling at me for killing the hamster and my sister crying because now her hamster's dead. And I go, oh, damn, I got to keep the thing alive. So I put it back in its cage. And I think I put a rock on top of the top so it wouldn't get out again. Something like that. And I knew I had to make sure it didn't get out again. And then, of course, I had to go cry to my grandmother, and, you know, the whole wedding was, you know, ruined in my mind, but it came out okay. Well, for a while, anyway. So, I just don't understand how we get suckered into being pet addicts. Nah, that's actually a fib. I know how. It's the eyes. They look up at you with the, like, puppies. They look at you with big puppy eyes. And you look down and you're like, stop looking at me like that! And they keep doing it. And then they give you that look so long you feel, oh God, I guess I have to pick him up. So you picked up the dog or the cat, and what dogs do? Lick, 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 doggy kisses, and then of course you're done. That's it. As soon as that puppy does that, you're done. You're already a dog addict. Because, you know, you want to go with one and then maybe something happens, or you decide that this one needs a friend to play with when you're not at home, so you end up with 2 dogs. I ended up with 4 cats. Well, mainly because when the mama cat got pregnant, I had a hard time parting with the babies because they did that thing at about 9 days old. The one opens their eye and they look at you with that one little eye and you're like, don't look at me, stop, I need to give you away because I can't keep as many cats. And they keep looking at you, and then they open the other eye. And then next thing you know, they're opening their ears and are making these little sounds like meow, 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 and you're just done. So the only way I was going to give one of those kittens was if I gave it to somebody I knew, so my stepdaughter has one of them, and I really wished I hadn't given them away. Because I felt bad because here I separated siblings, a sister and a brother, now they're separate. And I was going to find a new home for the mama cat because I really didn't want to have 4 cats, and she's just so sweet. Chowder's just so sweet, and she followed me around and she chirps and she talks, and I go, oh God. See, that's what she did. She didn't have to look at me with those eyes. All she had to do was talk. She'd go, rah, rah, rah. Every time you walk up to her, you go to touch her, and she goes, rah. And she's like, yeah, I know you're there. Yeah, pet me some more. So I'm a sucker. I feel like I started this Pets Anonymous group because, hi, I'm SJ, and I'm a cat addict. Other people would be dog addicts, or I hope there's no snake addicts. I don't like snakes. I knew someone who brought the snake to school. Why do schools let people do that back in the 70s? I mean, this kid came into school with a snake wrapped around his arm. And everybody's like, oh, cool snake. And I'm like, get that thing away from me. I don't like them. You know, I don't mind spiders as long as they're not big, hairy tarantulas. Because they're, like, not good. I'm not afraid of house spiders. You know, I can see them all day long. No big deal. But a big hairy tarantula, it's like, nah, I don't want you crawling around in my room. And, you know, these have these books for names for babies. They need a book for dog names and cat names because there's some really dumb names out there that people give their animals. Like Nelson the cat. Or Fred. Who names their dog Fred? You know, I get Spot. Dog's got spots. Call him Spot. Yeah. Rover. I guess that's an old-fashioned kind of dog name. Everybody named their dog Rover. I don't know why. Dogs don't rove. Not that I know of. They chase cars. Cats chase bugs. Well, these cats do. And the only thing that grosses me out is when I have this big fluffy guy here. He likes to eat moths. Can you imagine that? Your cat's walking around. Next thing you see him jump up in the air, and the next thing you do is you hear this crunch. And I'm going, oh, garbage. He's eating a moth. And when we were in Florida, he used to eat lizards, but he didn't eat the back end. That's the same way with mice. Cats don't eat the back end because they know it comes out of there. They're not going to eat that part. They're not dumb. They're not totally dumb. But he would bring me lizards as presents, I guess. My first cat my grandfather gave me would bring me field mice. Lots of mice, because we had cornfields. Lots of mice. One time we got a barn rat. And I can't figure out how he did it, but he caught a crow. So he dragged a big black crow up onto the back porch and was so proud of himself, sat there and like, meow, look what I did. Why do they do that? I don't want those kind of presents. Just go out, do your thing, come back in, let me pet you, you know, sleep in the bed, keep my feet warm at night, and I'm good. But I don't need any rats or mice or dead birds. But they think they gotta bring you that stuff. That's why all my cats are inside cats, because if I let them inside outside, I'd have too many presents on the doorstep. I have a feeling there would be a whole cemetery. A cemetery of moles, and we have chipmunks and squirrels. Can you imagine that lined up on your front door? Squirrel, chipmunk, squirrel, mouse. What is that? Oh, baby bird. You know, no, I can't. No, it's bad enough to deal with the gifts from your kitty cat. Dogs don't do that. At least I don't think they do. Don't they bury bones and then dig them up and bring them home? Or they find a buried bone and they dig it up and bring it home and say, hey, look what I found. I don't know, I haven't had a dog in a while. I like dogs and cats, but right now I just got lots of cats. So, this little kitten, she looked up at me and I just couldn't let her go. I had to keep her. This little girl right here. Because the black cat, Shadow, that's her mama. She doesn't look anything like her. So, welcome to Pets Anonymous. Or Cats Anonymous, Dogs Anonymous. I have to figure out another new name. But, obviously I'm addicted. Who else walks around with cats on their claws? And pictures of cats everywhere. Me. So, just don't name your cat or dog Fred or Roscoe or... Now, Peanut's a cute name. I know someone who had a little chihuahua named it Peanut. Kind of looked like a peanut. But don't give your pet a complex. I mean, I don't know why I named 9 boy cats George. They were all tuxedos. And then I had to think about it. Did I know anybody named George when I was little? Yeah, my mom's old boyfriend. Well, he wasn't a boyfriend, but he had the hots for my mom. And they should have got married. They never did. He just could not pop the question, I guess. So I don't know if the cat got in the way or what. Could be. But I also had a rabbit. At the same time I had a cat, I had a rabbit. Now that was a trick. But I think because the rabbit was as big as the cat didn't mess with it. It was a big white rabbit. And there's another one. I called him Tony. Well, I know why I called him Tony, because it was my Uncle Tony that gave me the white rabbit. That was dumb. Cat didn't really look like a George, and the bunny didn't look like a Tony, but that was their names. So don't give them a complex. I hope it didn't give them a complex. I guess I'll never know until I see him when I get over the rainbow to meet him again. So, I guess part of the recovery from being addicted to your pets is just make sure you give them a name that makes sense, that fits them. Don't call them Skippity Paps. What the hell is a Skippity Paps anyway? Sounds like a medical test. Oh, you need to get a Skippity Paps done. It's like, go to your OBGYN's like, you get Skippity Paps test. No. That had to go. And I had to tell the rescue that I got her from, I said, her name's not Skippity Paps anymore, it's Whiskers. She likes Whiskers better. Pets pick you. We went there to get a kitten, came home with an adult cat. And now she's yelling for the kitten because she wants her playmate. It's like having 3 2-year-olds in the house now. But that's what you get when you're addicted. When you're addicted to your pets. You wear clothes with cats on them. I've got shorts with paws on them. So it's okay to be addicted to your pets. Just want to let you know. It's hard to say goodbye. But when they're here, they're a blast. So hopefully the next meeting we have will be about some other addictive animal. I'd like to know who has an addiction. I knew the boys in school had addiction to snakes. I didn't like them. But if you ever noticed, be careful if you're not, let's say you're not looking for a pet and you walk into a pet store or someone calls you and says, oh, my dog just had puppies. Walk the other way unless you're ready to be addicted to a pet. Good luck.